Welcome to H2K Infosys. H2K Infosys is a e-verify business based in Atlanta, Georgia, United States. We provide 100% job-oriented, instructor-led, face-to-face, true live online software training programs. It also includes access to cloud test lab with software tools. We provide live project for you to work on. We also provide assistance with mock interviews, resume preparation and review, and job placement assistance. H2K Infosys is trusted by so many students across the world. H2K Infosys provides world-class services in IT training with real-time project work for corporates and individuals, special IT training for MS students in the United States, software design, development, QA manual and automation, performance testing and maintenance, IT staff augmentation, job placement assistance, and tech support.
So normally the messaging client, whoever will be going to send the messages, they will be going to call as messaging client or messaging source. They are going to send the message to the server, nothing but your destination, based on the JMS configuration. So on the application server, you are going to configure the properties for the JMS. And on the client side, you are going to use that application server, the JMS details or the JMS configuration details to contact the destination and send the message to the destination. One more advantage with the JMS is you can just send the message to the application server or the JMS destination, and it is not required for you to wait for the response. It is just like a one-way communication. And on the right side also, this guy, it's not required for him to wait for the message to come in. He'll just get the response, or he'll just get the message whenever it has arrived onto the JMS destination. So the communication between source and destination, it can be an asynchronous communication as well. Asynchronous, nothing but there is no session required, and the client doesn't want the response within the same span itself. See, you can use the JMS in different ways. Let us say your application is processing the client request. You are going to log the messages onto your log file. But normally, we don't want our main thread to work on the logging kind of stuff. If you are writing for each and every method based on logging configuration, then it will be going to take some time to write the messages to the log file. At least it will take a fraction of a second for each log message to be written to the log file. So in that case, what you can do is you can just send the message to some other thread, and the thread will process the message to this particular destination, and by this destination, from this destination, you can just get the message and write the message to the log file. So your main thread, it will inform to the child thread, or it will span a child thread, and the child thread will send a message to this particular guy. Then your main thread will process automatically the normal processing or normal request handling, and your child thread only works on logging kind of stuff. To work on JMS, we need to learn the API, the Java Messaging Service API. So there are certain classes available for the JMS. And for the messaging communication also, there are two types of messaging communication available. The first one is point-to-point communication, and the next one is publish and subscribe communication. Before that, there is one important one with respect to your JMS, that is JMS provider. See, your JMS provider, previously we have seen the JMS provider within our application server diagram. The JMS provider, it will be provided by your application server itself. So you just need to contact the JMS provider, nothing but it is also just like a simple class. You just need to contact the JMS provider and you need to ask the JMS provider to have the connectivity between the client application and JMS provider. Once you have established the connection to the JMS provider, then you can send the messages, or you can receive the messages, or you can establish the session as well if you want. But your JMS provider is the important one, or is the one which will be going to perform all the connection handling between client and application server. So whenever you are going to communicate between client and server, or the source and destination, just like this. We have mentioned about two communication methodologies. The first one is point to point, and the next one is publish and subscribe. We are discussing about point to point. So whenever you are going to communicate to the JMS provider, and the JMS provider will talk to the destination. See, this is just like the diagram representation, but this JMS provider will be available on the application server itself. Okay, so your source will contact the JMS provider and he will send the message. He will send the message to the JMS provider, and your destination will listen to this JMS provider, and he'll be going to receive the message whenever the message has arrived. That means source, this guy, the first step what he will do is he will make a connection to this JMS provider. Once he has established the connection to this guy, he will ask, hey, I want to start a session. So the first step is create a connection and then create a simple session for that particular message. And once after that, he will create the message and send it to the JMS provider. On the destination side, what this guy will do, this guy also establish the connection, and this guy also creates a session, and he will wait until a message has arrived onto the JMS provider. So that means this guy will continuously listen to this JMS provider, and you have the option of listening either for one message or multiple messages. So that means if a single message has arrived, this guy will disconnect the session. Or else if you want to have this guy was supposed to handle all the messages, then you can establish an indefinite connection to this JMS provider, and he will get all the messages that are available on the JMS provider. But here you can see that this is just like the asynchronous communication. The source guy, he doesn't know anything about the destination, and the destination, he doesn't know anything about the source. Yeah, exactly. So here we are discussing about the point-to-point communication, nothing but you are going to send the message to this guy and only one destination, one receiver will be available to receive the messages. This kind of mechanism is called as queue mechanism or point-to-point mechanism. In this case, your destination, see here destination means JMS provider only, not the actual destination. This guy acts as a queue, nothing but point-to-point. In this scenario, we'll call the JMS provider as point-to-point or queue mechanism. The reason for that is at any point of time, only one person or one receiver, let me change this name. Only one receiver will receive the messages. Let us say if there are so many listeners, there is one more listener who is also listening to this particular JMS provider. So that means at a single point of time, two persons are available, two receivers are available, which are listening to this particular queue. But this guy is sending the message only once. As this is a queue mechanism, nothing but point to point, at any point of time, only one person will receive the message, and another one, even though he is listening, he won't get the message. And you are not sure who will get the message. Normally, whenever you are using queue mechanism, there should be only one listener for the JMS provider. Let us say if there is no one available as a listener, this guy hasn't established the connection during the time he has sent the message. This guy also not available. So now there are no listeners to your JMS provider. In this case, your JMS provider stores all the messages until it was received by any listener. So your JMS has the capability of storing the messages as well onto the application server until and unless it was delivered to any kind of receiver. The next one is publish and subscribe. In publish and subscribe also, we have the same mechanism. You will contain a source or a sender. You will contain the JMS provider and you will have the receiver as well. So here we'll just change the name as publisher, here subscriber. We'll have the JMS provider. So this guy will send the message here and this guy will listen to this JMS provider. Let us say there is one another subscriber available. So the publisher will send a message to the JMS provider, and currently there are two subscribers available to the JMS provider. In this case, the JMS provider will be called as a topic. See the same JMS provider, but in this case here it was called as queue mechanism and here this was called as topic mechanism. When a publisher has sent a message to the JMS provider, normally a publisher will publish the message and whoever is listening to the topic, they are all will be going to receive the message. It is not a one-to-one communication. It is one-to-many communication. Whoever is listening to the topic, they are all will be going to receive the message. As this is a topic communication, this won't store the messages. That means the listeners are supposed to subscribe upfront before sender has sent any kind of messages. If at all, if there are no listeners available, then if this guy has published some message and no subscribers available, then the message will be simply discarded. During the time, if there are any listeners, there are 10 listeners available, then the message will be sent to all the 10 subscribers. I'm sorry. But if there are no listeners available to that particular topic, then the message will be discarded. When you want to send notification to all the subscribers, then you will go for publish and subscribe mechanism. But if you want only the module to module communication, sender to receiver communication, then you will go for the JMS point to point communication. Normally, you are going to configure the topic or queue onto your application server by using your admin configuration. Once you have configured any kind of topic or queue, see, we'll configure different topics or queues. We can have number of queues or number of topics. We might initiate the communication to the first module, the inventory module, or we might initiate the communication to stock holding module. Probably the inventory might be point-to-point communication from ordering team. Or to the stock team, it might be we can have different number of stocks. We can have inventory stock, ordering stock, or we can have different departments as well. Probably it might be a topic communication to the stock module. So that means on the application server, you can configure any number of queues or any number of topics. But for the client, he was supposed to know to which queue he was supposed to send the message, or to which queue he was supposed to contact and send the topic message. That's the reason you are going to configure your JMS destinations. Either it can be queue or topic onto your application server. Once you have configured that onto the application server, you are going to register the names with the JNDI. So you are not going to perform the JNDI registry, but your application server will do the registration of the names, the JMS destination names with the global JNDI. So once you have configured the queue or topic, your JNDI will consist of the details about your queues and topics. And from the client perspective, he needs the name of the destination to which he was supposed to send the message. So to acquire that object, you need to get the name of the topic or queue, and once he'll get the information about queue name or topic name, he will establish the connection to the JMS provider. Here you can see that the first one, point-to-point communication. Point-to-point communication. So here you can see that client 1 sends a message to the queue. So point-to-point, the JMS destination acts as a queue. And this guy send a message to the queue. Immediately, this guy will receive the message. Once after that, he can send the acknowledgement also back to the queue or also to the client as well. It's entirely based on the communication mechanism that we are using. The second mechanism, publish and subscribe mechanism. Here, client 1 publishes the message to the topic, the same JMS destination, but this time we'll call this as a topic. But the requirement is to the topic, all the subscribers, they are supposed to subscribe upfront. You can see that client 3 and client 4, they are going to subscribe to the topic upfront. Once after that, the topic will push the message to all the subscribers, whoever is listening to the topic. Here, one-to-one communication, but this one-to-many communication. The difference is, if there is no receiver available at this level, your queue has the capability of storing the messages, but here, if there is no receiver, your topic won't store the messages and it will simply discard the message. That is the JMS architecture concept. But to work on the JMS, you just need to know the API model. See, currently, whatever that it was displayed here, API model, you are going to represent the same in terms of code. The starting point is connection factory. The connection factory is an object which is registered in the JNDI, and you need to ask for the connection factory based on the JNDI lookup. Once you got the connection factory, you are going to create the connection object. So this is the startup point for your JMS API. For this one also, you are going to look up in in global JNDI. Once you got the factory, you can ask to create any kind of connection. The connection can be a queue connection or a topic connection. You can ask any kind of connection based on your handling. If you are connecting to destination as queue, then you are going to ask queue connection. If you are connecting to topic, then you are going to ask topic connection. See, at each level, we'll have queue and topic related classes available. But here, I have provided the top level. The top level will be implemented by queue and topic separately. Once you got the connection, you are supposed to create a session to the JMS provider. You need to have an individual session to send the messages. And also, your session is the starting point to create a producer or to create a consumer or to create an actual message as well. So your session is the key player which will create the producer or which will create the consumer or also provides the message as well. Message nothing but whatever the information that you want to send to the destination server. See, just like how the connection was there, you are going to create the object in the same way. Messages, see, between client and server will exchange the messages. You can have different types of messages that you can exchange between source and destination. Messages is the root level or the top level interface, and at the bottom level you can have 5 kind of messages. The first one is a text message. Text message, when you want to send a normal string, then you will go for text messages. Stream message is nothing but just like your data output stream and data input stream, which consists of primitive data types, and you are supposed to read the data in the same manner in which you have used to set on the client side. The next one, object message, which is used to send serialized objects to the destination. Map message, map objects, which is nothing but key value pair. You can create any kind of message, and on the destination side, you should receive the message in the same format. See, if you send the message with a text message and you are extracting the message, or on the listener side, if you go for stream message, it will throw you class cast exception. Finally, the JMS API will throw a JMS exception at all cases. Whenever your connection was not established, or whenever the session was not started properly, on all those cases, it will throw a JMS exception, and you are supposed to handle JMS exception in all the cases. So to work on the JMS, you need to have 5 objects. The first one is connection factory, the next one is connection, and the next one is session, and finally your destination, either it can be queue or topic, and the 5th one is your message, 6th one is either message producer or message consumer in case of queue, or topic publisher or topic subscriber in case of topic. So you are going to work on all these 7 objects within your JMS API. And the first thing is connection factory is supposed to be retrieved based on JNDA lookup, and also your destination, nothing but your queue name or topic name. This was also supposed to be retrieved based on JNDA lookup. And the remaining objects, it will be created based on connection factory, and the connection will get first created by the connection factory, followed by the session. Once you got the session, your session has the capability of creating the message, and also message producer or consumer, or publisher or subscriber. We have seen the diagram. Your session was the one supposed to create the message or the producer or consumer, or else your publisher or subscriber. But 2 things that you need to perform, the connection factory and also the session. One more important step. See, once you have created the connection will get created in stop mode. That means the connection to the JMS provider, will get created in a stop mode. You are supposed to externally start the connection.
So many of our students have given testimonials on how our training programs are. You will find them on kudzu.com and on our website H2Kinfosys.com. On our website H2Kinfosys.com, you will also find more detailed information on who we are, the courses that we offer, what each course covers. Also, if you're interested in a demo program, please register on our homepage on the left-hand side. Just give us more information about yourself and we will send you a link for a demo class. The demo class is absolutely free. Experience our commitment by just attending an orientation workshop at no cost. Our team of faculty and advisors are here to guide you with the right information. If you still have more questions, please feel free to call us. Call us at 770-777-1269. This is a United States number. If you're calling from the UK, call us at 020-337-17615. You can also email us at training@h2kinfosys.com or h2kinfosys@gmail.com. Thank you for watching our videos. We wish you a great career in information technology.